Alright, so before we get into the video, I just wanted to quickly announce the TurfNation Film Festival. This is another small event that I'm working on for 1,000 subscribers, so if you want the chance to have one of your short films appear in one of my videos, then head on over to my Discord, or wait until the end of this video to hear more about the competition. Anyways, let's get into today's video. So, I recently hit 1,000 subscribers, and I decided to do a poll on my Discord where you guys ranked the 11 Star Wars movies from worst to best, and here are the results. So we got quite a lot of responses, but through careful analysis and observations, we cut out a lot of people who had decided to try and cheat the system by either submitting 2 responses, changing their name slightly to throw me off, or someone even had the audacity to use TurfNation as their name. Luckily, I knew this was not me since they put a space between my name, put all the sequels last, and I don't have dementia yet, so I remembered that I didn't even submit a response myself. Good try, brother. So yes, we cut out all the trolls, all the duplicates, and all the other anomalies we could find. Without bias, by the way. And in the end, there were 52 real responses. Now the difficult part was actually making sense of the data, because the results were put into these pie charts for each ranking, but the same movie could dominate multiple different rankings. So like Rogue One had the most votes for both 7 and 6, and The Last Jedi was all over the place. So actually interpreting the results and accurately substituting the raw data into a comprehensive list would require some advanced mathematics. Luckily, Daddy Turf's best subject in high school was indeed math, so I'm pretty confident that the validity of this list is quite high. Basically, I used 3 different methods to calculate the results, starting with my own observations of the data, followed by calculating the averages for each movie, to then finally rating the overall scores of each movie. Alright, now stay with me a little bit. I'm gonna try to explain it. For example, if say A New Hope had 4 votes for first place, 6 votes for second, and 3 votes for third place, then we'd calculate its score by saying 4 plus 12 plus 9, which would be 25. This isn't its actual score, but it gives you an idea. So we did this for each movie, and the lower the score is, the higher the movie ranks on the list. Confusing stuff, I know, but my girlfriend and I both did it and we came to the same conclusions. And if you feel like I didn't explain this with enough clarity, then please do ask me about it in the comments. I'll be happy to explain the math. But anyways, enough rambling and enough technicalities, let's just get into the video. This is how you guys ranked the Star Wars movies. So with the highest score and therefore last place, we have The Rise of Skywalker. This movie is a fun and adventurous ending to the Skywalker saga that tries to juggle around some interesting ideas and concepts in between the engaging action and comedy. It is, however, not a movie for everyone, with controversial decisions and enough irregularities in the writing for the fanbase to be split on this movie, which is why we see it appear on both the lower ranks but also some of the higher ranks of the poll. But overall, you guys voted The Rise of Skywalker as your least favorite Star Wars movie. Next up on 10th place, we have Attack of the Clones. Now, being the second movie in the prequel trilogy, this movie sets up a lot of interesting ideas and plot points for the finale, such as the Clone Wars, Anakin's character arc, and the relationship between Anakin and Padme. This movie is an exciting and action-packed adventure with charming performances, engaging cinematography, wonderful new world building, and of course, Obi-Wan Kenobi. Despite all this good, it does fall victim to some poorly written dialogue and plot, which can explain why a lot of people rank it so low. But overall, it's an exhilarating adventure. Next up on 9th place, we have The Phantom Menace. Appearing just a little ahead of its sequel, this movie manages to create an intriguing insight into the ways of the Jedi in their prime, and executes this piece of world building quite well. In addition to that, we have a solid lead in Qui-Gon Jinn, decent action scenes, and one of the most epic lightsaber duels in the entire franchise. Just like its sequel, this movie falls short in the writing, but also the lack of characterization for a lot of the characters, but overall, it's a solid movie. The Phantom Menace is your number 9. On 8th place, we have Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, this is a movie that most of you know that I like very much. I think it's criminally underrated, so I was a bit saddened when I saw it on 8th place, but also not surprised. It it's not the most popular Star Wars movie, but I think it's because most people haven't watched it for a long time. When you actually give this movie a chance, you get enthralled in this intimate and intense small-scale story with compelling characters and performances, with action that keeps your eyes tied to the screen, a wonderful plot progression, and it's all in all a very technically solid movie. I think the reason that it falls short for so many people is its lack of spectacle and its unnecessity. But if you accept it for what it is, that being a small-scaled and deep movie, then it quickly becomes one of the most underrated Star Wars movies. Next up on 7th place we have heartbreak for me, The Last Jedi. Now The Last Jedi is a movie that explores deep and interesting themes and concepts with wonderfully written characters like Luke, Rey, and Kylo, with stunning cinematography, thrilling action, and an overall well-told story. The Last Jedi, however, is a fan-base dividing movie for various individual reasons, but also as a movie, it does fall victim to a couple plot holes, some inconsistent characters and story threads, and an over-reliance on humor, which can explain its low ranking, but overall, The Last Jedi is a great Star Wars movie, and it's number 7 on you guys' Star Wars ranking. Then just shy of the top 5, we have Rogue One. This movie was the first of the Star Wars spin-offs, and it has arguably the greatest third act out of any of the Star Wars movies. I mean, that's up to debate. Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith, The Last Jedi also all have phenomenal third acts. But I'm just saying that Rogue One is fantastic. It's a smaller, gritty story that hits you right in the feels on multiple occasions, and with one of the best space battles in the franchise and a heartbreaking finale, it truly earns its spot on this list. Maybe only held back by some flat characters and weird plot choices. Overall, Rogue One is amazing. It's number 6 on the list. Then at 5th place, you guys have chosen The Force Awakens. This movie was such an amazing cinema experience, and it once again captured the essence of what Star Wars is all about. It has a similar structure to A New Hope, and many people criticize it for it, but fail to overlook the fact that the ideas, the character roles, the emotions, and the plot itself are vastly different, and along with solid acting, well-written dialogue for the most part, breathtaking visuals, fantastic music, charming performances, and exciting action makes this movie really fucking solid. And that is in fact probably its greatest weakness. It's just such a good film. Nothing too special or groundbreaking, but good. It's a joy to watch, and it's your 5th favorite Star Wars movie. Then at number 4 we have Return of the Jedi. This movie is the finale of the original trilogy, and it ends off the trilogy magnificently. The final act of this movie is so jam-packed with emotions, with moral questions, with epic lightsaber combat, with memes, with thought-provoking themes, and the rest of the movie has provided us with some truly iconic moments. Perhaps only being limited by the lack of focus in the first 2 acts, this movie is so hard to criticize. It truly does deserve the number 4 spot on this list. And now for the top 3, the big boys. At 3rd place we have Revenge of the Sith. Now I know I'm gonna get a shit ton of screaming infants saying this movie is the best one, but guys, please, you guys chose this list. It's democracy. It's fair. I promise I have not altered this movie's position one bit, because if it were up to me, I'd put it right at the bottom just to see you guys burn my channel to the ground. I'm joking, obviously, because Revenge of the Sith absolutely deserves to be in the top 3. It has most of what makes a movie great, but it has everything that makes a Star Wars movie great. It has heart, it has purpose, it makes you invested in the story. It doesn't even matter that the dialogue is still awkward, or that the pacing is weird, or that some of the sets are lifeless, because it makes up for all of this with exhilarating action all the way throughout, some actually great moments of acting, world building that makes you love the Clone Wars era so much, and of course, the most emotional last act of any movie in the Star Wars franchise. No other Star Wars movie has ever made this many masochistic war machines cry, and for that it will always have a special place in our hearts. Revenge of the Sith is your 3rd favorite Star Wars movie. Now in 2nd place we have A New Hope. It would have honestly been a crime if you guys hadn't ranked the first Star Wars movie highly, and not because it's the first and nostalgia and all that bullshit. No, it's because of how amazing this movie is. This movie has done more for the fantasy genre, the action-adventure genre, even just modern blockbusters than any movie ever. The effects are truly groundbreaking, and they still hold up. So much love and dedication went into crafting this truly immaculate world that blends the use of practical and visual effects perfectly. Even now, it looks better than some of the big CGI slugfests that we see today. And it came out in 1977. But beyond just the phenomenal world building, this movie thrives from a well-written screenplay with dynamic characters and a pacing that trumps even the Trumpiest of Trumpies. Despite the cringy dialogue that when you think about it is really charming for the time, you're left with a masterpiece of a film. One of my absolute favorite movies of all time. And I'm so glad you guys ranked it as your second best Star Wars movie. But now we've finally arrived at number 1, and it's probably the most obvious choice on this entire list. Empire Strikes Back. I don't need to say anything about this movie. Everyone already knows it's fantastic.
But I'm gonna do it anyways.
This movie somehow is even better than A New Hope. It cleans up the writing, it makes the dialogue more natural, the effects are even better, the characters are even more dynamic, the pacing is perfect, the action is more engaging, and the twist at the end, iconic. In all honesty, it's the perfect sequel because it builds off of the amazing foundation laid down by its predecessor and creates something truly marvelous. I think this is a perfect movie, and I'm guessing most of you guys feel the same way because you guys ranked Empire Strikes Back as the best Star Wars movie. Anyways, that's how you guys ranked the Star Wars movies. If you for some reason disagree with these choices even though you chose them, then please let me know down in the comments. If you don't want to miss out on these more interactive videos in the future, then be sure to join my Discord server. The link is in the description or in the comments. And speaking of Discord, head on over there if you're interested in having your short film appear in one of my videos. All the rules and information about the specifications of your film are over there, so go check out my announcement. You have about 3 weeks to make this short film, which should hopefully be enough time. And by the end of that period, depending on the number of submissions I get, we'll have the people on the server vote on their favorites, and either some or all of them will appear in a video on my channel. So happy filmmaking. But other than that, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Stay safe and peace out.